Yo, Kpaceguy is here. It's what time is it? About to be 8 o'clock, so I don't have any sunlight. Sun went down about, I don't know, 6:30 or 7. But this video is going to be about these Polk audio speakers that I recently purchased. And as you can see, or maybe not see, it's kind of dim. My center channel came in, and I was hesitant to make a review on the speakers so quickly because I wanted to get a good relationship between I and the sound, so that when I told you guys how I felt about it, that I had a lot of facts to support myself with. So just a quick recap of what's in here. I still have my Yamaha RX A3060. I'm not going to upgrade it to 3070 because there's not enough differences in the two to do that. I just got this anyway. But this might be upgraded. This is the Emotiva Bass X A300, I believe is what it's called. And it's 150 watts times 2. That's why you have the two dots there for your front channel speakers. These speakers that I have in front of me I think are rated, I forgot what it was, 100 to 300 watts. I know 300 watts maximum, but I forgot what the RMS was. But 300 watts peak, and I'm getting half of that. And you can really tell that they want their power. I forgot what their sensitivity was, their decibel sensitivity. I want to say 89. I don't remember. But they do want power, and I definitely want to give them the power that they're asking for. So in the future, I'm gonna have to give them at least 250, at least 250. Down here, I still have my Xbox One X, which will be, S. I will be getting the X. The X is coming out November 3rd. Yes, November 3rd. And I already pre-ordered mine, so I just got to pick it up. And I will be getting rid of that one and replacing it with the new one. And then below that is the Oppo 203, not 205. I won't upgrade to 205 either because the 203 and 205, not enough differences. The difference between the 203 and 205 is more audio than visual. And I'm not using the audio out on the preamp or on the Oppo anyway, so I don't need to upgrade. So that's that. Still have my SVS PP1000s in the corners here, which I will upgrade eventually as well because I want more power. And my TV, of course, is the LG C7. It's beautiful. In the corner here, I do have the other TV. I had a friend over, so we were playing. We hate split screening, so I had to plug up the old TV. That's the Samsung JS8500. That was my first 4K TV. Actually, my second 4K TV before upgrading to the LG OLED. I will make a video soon comparing Samsung's best 4K versus LG's best 4K LED versus OLED. We already know who's going to win, but I want to show you why OLED is the clear winner, okay? So that's that. Now, on your left and on your right here are the Polk Audio LSiM 707s. They're the flagship tower. They do have another tower, the 705s. And then here is I don't remember the model number of the center channel. I guess 706C. I don't remember. I do not remember. And then flanking me on both sides is the FX channels, the 702s, I think it was. And then they also have bookshelves. They're 703s. They have so many numbers. I don't have those. I opted out of getting those because they were pretty big. So in the back right now, I currently have the Fluences that I was using earlier. They do well. I'm going to upgrade them eventually, but I'm going to wait till I get out of this room first. And on the bed here is Alaya. Alaya, you going to say hi? Hello. Yes, that's Alaya. She's sitting there. She's going to go to work here in a little bit, so we talk all the time, so she's currently here with me. But anyway, let's get this show on the road. So, let's start with a comparison between the Polk Audios and the Fluence Signature Series that I had. If you haven't listened to any reviews or listened to this Signature Series yet, there's multiple videos on YouTube of mine and of others if you want to see and hear those speakers. But to compare the two, it's night and day, actually. It's night and day. Those speakers cost me... I got the whole speaker package, the 5.0 system, for $9.99. And I think you can get the floor standing speakers by themselves for $6.99 now. And they're phenomenal. They're very good. The bass in there is low. You do not have to have a subwoofer unless you're going to use it for movie theater purposes. But the Polk Audio subs, well, they call them subs. Some reviews call these subs. Some reviews just call them 6x9s, which is what they are. Those things are truly low. I've turned off the subwoofers and pumped some bass through them, and it's phenomenal. I had to turn down the bass on my receiver to -6, which is the lowest it can go, because it was just too much. It was just way too much. And I love bass, but I like it to be balanced. And for the I don't know, maybe the combination of my Yamaha with the Polk Audios. The Polk Audios they're very demanding. They're very true to the music. So they expose a lot of things in the sound that I didn't necessarily hear with the fluences. Now, the fluences, again, are very, very good, and they're very much worth the money. You get probably better sound than what you paid for. With the Polks here, I got these for a pair, 2,500, which was a steal because I think the cheapest you can get a single speaker. There's mostly sold in singles. You can get those for, I think, 2,000 for one. I ended up getting both of these for 2,500, and they're new. So I definitely looked into the market at the perfect time. The center channel, it cost me 700. I found it 700. It was used though. It was lightly used, so it's pretty much like new. And I'm fine with getting like new things, as long as nothing has been done to it as far as aesthetics wise or the speakers themselves. It's perfect condition, so I grabbed it 700. And there's also some bookshelves out there for 700 too, but those usually go for 1,000. And then I got these for 750, I think, for the pair, and usually they're 1,000 a piece. So this is not a lighthearted system at all, and I love it. Let's go back to the comparison between the fluences and the Polk Audios. The Polk Audios will win in every aspect. The detail clear highs is amazing. I love it, although they're not as bright as the fluences were. The fluences, they weren't bright, but compared to the Polk Audios, they are. The Polk Audios, I had to crank the treble up quite a bit. I didn't go when I equalized the system. I didn't go in and mess with the EQ. I let it be what it wants to be, what the Yamaha thought it should be. But I did go and turn up the treble portion of the tone because I needed more brightness in my tweeter. Let's look at it again so you guys can see here. It has, let's stick that there. It has this driver here, and then it has this tweeter at the bottom, right? And then it has a mid-range driver, which I believe is 6.5, which is the same 6.5 that is in the center channel. There's also two 6.5s there, and then there's a mid-range driver and a tweeter down there. We'll just put this on the floor. These are magnetic grills, by the way. This whole section here, if you just cut this off right here, this would be what your bookshelf would look like. I think this is much deeper actually much deeper than the bookshelves would be. But as far as the driver setup and everything, how it looks exactly like that. If you just cut this right here, it looks just like that. You can see that the center channel is fairly deep. It weighs, I would give it 70 pounds. I think it's 67 on the site, and I think each one of these speakers is close to 100. I 100% believe that because I unboxed it by myself. If you haven't seen that video was definitely posted, and you can watch me struggle. I had to fast forward through it because it took me forever, but I got them out. Definitely recommend you doing this with 2 people or more, because getting that speaker out and risking it falling or damaging anything is high. So definitely have somebody with you. This was okay to get out, but it was heavy. And then these speakers, they weren't heavy. They're heavy for surround speakers, but they weren't heavy. So, but they definitely have a good weight to them, which is reassuring because it lets you know that the components inside and out are of quality. The big difference that I hear with the fluences versus the Polk Audios is the detail. The detail is crisp and clear, especially with percussion instruments like bass drum, kick drum. Amazing. When you have multiple instruments in a piece, like when you have a piano over here and you have a drum over here and you might have a harp and you have a violin, the separation between the sounds is phenomenal. Like you can, each instrument is distinctly emphasized the way it should have been, and it sounds beautiful. But let me get to the center channel, because this is the last piece that I had pieced in my system. And I watched a couple Netflix videos, watched a couple movies and Dolby Atmos and things like that. And the quality of voice, it sounds like you're actually listening to them recorded live, whether it's a movie or it's a musical or if it's a recording. It sounds like they are there. It's very clear, very true to the human voice. It sounds just like I sound, as if they were sitting right there having a conversation with you. It sounds just like that. But once again, each one of these speakers are power hungry. I promise you, you're going to have to get a hefty amp. You might be able to get a flagship receiver, but the power that's in that receiver is not going to be sufficient enough to really bring out what the Polk Audios want and what they have. So definitely look to upgrade. I'm definitely looking to upgrade. Let's see, what else can I say that's like a comparison? Let's go back to the bass. I had the tone down, like I said, I toned down the bass quite a bit, a whole 6 dB, because it was just so powerful, and it's still powerful now. They dig pretty low. I don't remember what the site said they get down to. I want to say something in the 20s, and it's not an exaggeration at all. In this small room, I've gotten down to 20s. I've turned off the subwoofers and forgotten that they were even off because I still have that bass. But the difference between the subwoofer and these speakers is low that really low note that still comes through. Like you can hear it kind of, when you get down to the 20 hertz range, you can still hear it. You don't necessarily feel it anymore. It's faint. So once you click on the subwoofers, you really hear that low end, but it's satisfying to the majority of the people out there. I really like my bass to be low, and these hit pretty low. I don't necessarily like it to be loud, but I like it to go low, and these speakers definitely, they can dig. Those 6x9s can dig. I have tried to crank it up a couple times, with some rap music, R&B, hip hop, gospel. I've cranked the system up just to see what it can handle. And you'll tap out before the speakers do, I promise. It gets really loud in here, but it takes a lot of power, so I'm definitely going to have to upgrade that. As far as video games go, for those who play games on their system, I play games all the time. You see YouTube is on right now. I have other games and stuff. Evil Within is what I've been playing the most lately. It really envelops you in whatever format you're listening to, whether it's just regular 5.1 arrangement, or if it's 7.1, or if it's Dolby Atmos, if it's a movie's music, if it's a video game. These speakers are really, really good at enveloping you in the sound that the developer wanted you to be enveloped in. And even during Evil Within, there's times where I've been saved. It saved me because there's a zombie coming to my left, and I didn't see it, but my speakers told me it was coming, and so I was able to turn there and shoot him in the head real quick before he got me. So things like that, it's very detailed. It's very good. I'm running only 16 gauge wire to them. I can't really flip you guys back there and see how the wiring is set up because they're so heavy. But if you check out a couple of the unboxing videos, I think I do show the binding posts back there and everything like that. But I'm running 16 gauge. I think they can accept, I want to say if you can find some 14 gauge or for 12, you can get them in there. They are running with banana plugs right now. They fit standard banana plugs just fine. No problems there. No wiggliness, no falling out or anything like that. So that's good. I don't really have any complaints with the speakers. They are heavy, they are tall, they're thinner profile than the Fluences as far as the width of it goes. The Fluences was much wider, but these are much taller and much deeper. They are bottom ported, so if you can see down there on this little lip down here, the port hits that and then it disperses off of the bottom base there, instead of being backfiring port, which adds boundary compensation. Bass gets bloated back there, so it does help for people who can't pull off their speakers into the room like I can't. I don't have that much space, so having it down there at the bottom is perfect for people who have a small room. A lot of people who like to comment on my I get mixed comments about my room. Some people say go big or go home, get big speakers, get a projector, this. Now it's impractical. I am in the bedroom still. Of course, I have big dreams and stuff. That when I get my own place, I'll definitely get a man cave, home theater room, of course. But people say, go big. And that also means have big money. I don't work at a fancy job and I still go to school. So I don't have money just to be buying anything that I wish I had. But some people also say, your speakers are too big for your room, this, that, and the other. And yes, I 100% agree. I 100% agree with you. They're way too big, but I don't buy for this room. I buy for where I'm going to be at in the future, which is, in the living room space, or if I have a basement, be in there. So I know that the speakers are much bigger than this room is asking for. Even the subwoofers are pretty bad for the room. These 12, I do want 12 inches, or I thought about getting the PB13 Ultras. I even went through and read reviews of the PB16 Ultra. But of course, like I said, I'm not buying for this room. I don't compensate or compromise sound quality just because I'm in a room that's small. I do know that I'll be upgrading eventually, and I'll have speakers ready for it when it happens. So, if you can find these speakers for lower than retail, grab them. These are audiophile grade speakers. I've read so many reviews before I bought these speakers. I read reviews as I was waiting for them to be shipped to me. And I haven't seen a review under 5 stars. I really haven't. If it was lower than 5 stars, then it's because it came damaged or they had bad customer support or something like that. But sound quality wise, I haven't heard a bad review. I've heard everybody tell me that the speakers sound way better than what you paid for, and you paid for these for quite a bit. You paid a good amount. and you get that. The build quality is solid. I do appreciate them making the finishes, the cherry finish and the mahogany finish, which is what I have. Instead of that reflective, as you see on the front here, it's better to see the speaker. It has a glossy piano finish on the front, right? But on the sides of it is that mahogany or cherry finish, depending on which one you pick. And it helps with reflections when you're watching a movie or TV or anything. You don't have that reflection while you're watching at night, which is amazing. Like I said, the detail in the speakers is amazing, and the bass is not. Its bass is very heavy. It's very heavy. It kind of drowns out the top end in the mid range. It's very heavy. So when you get these speakers, you're gonna have to dial back that bass if you can. It's very heavy. It's there. It's definitely there. You'll feel it. It vibrate your walls just like a subwoofer would. The only thing that a subwoofer has on the Polks is the extra deep low end. For music wise, you can buy two of these and you can be done. The bookshelves are great too. The bookshelves go down to about 36 hertz, so you can even get those and have those as your mains, and they'll handle the power just fine in the high dynamic volume that you might have. The center channel, I've seen people flip these vertically and use them as their fronts, because I think these dig a little bit lower than the bookshelves actually, which is pretty crazy to think about. That your center channel can get down sub 30s. That's crazy. But it can. So I've seen people rotate these over and use them as mains or use them as 2-channel stereo, which is perfectly fine. And then these bad boys over here, those are very detailed as well. I never had a problem with them. They are also rear ported at the bottom underneath, so you can put them against the wall. They also have a switch on them, so you can. She's trying to tell me, look, she's waving at me. Look, she's saying, "You've taken too long. I'm trying to leave." Look at her. She's over here waving her hand at me, talking about, excuse me, I'm about to leave. I want to say bye to you. I guess she's telling me to hurry up. But anyway, there's a switch on here. You can switch it from if it's on a wall, if you're hanging it on the wall, or if you're going to use it as stands, which I'm using as stands. So they're really big, so make sure you have enough space. Make sure you have enough space. I do apologize for the video quality and maybe the audio quality because I'm using one of my older phones. So my video ran out. I guess I ran out of space making this video, which is okay because I was wrapping it up anyway. So hopefully it doesn't go off before I finish this. But basically, if you're on the fence of getting these speakers, don't be on the fence. They're high grade, high quality. The components inside of them are phenomenal. There's plenty of reviews online if you want to get another person's opinion on it. Even the people who have had these, they say that the 705s is a sweet spot between the two. They might be right. I think the bass is a little bit lower on those because these are 5x9s or 5x8s. I don't remember. 5x7s, I think it was. On the 705s. So if you want to lower that bass back, if you think the bass is gonna be a problem, get those. They're a little bit cheaper as well, obviously. So check those out first, and then I got these because I want to go big.